The most frustrating part about trying to grow a business is spending hours speaking to a prospect just to find out they're not that serious or they say, I can't afford it. I want to give you the deep marketing psychological cheat code to filter out all the bad leads so that the unqualified disqualify themselves without even knowing it. This one video is going to give you a massive leg up on your competition who's still spending all their time speaking to the wrong people. For this to really land and make sense, I want you to understand something called the Rolex effect. Most people will look at something like a Rolex and say, it's just to flex, it's just to show off, it's a complete waste of money, it's just materialistic things. For the people who actually own a Rolex, they know something that most people don't. They understand that a majority of society, when they look at a Rolex and they see one in person, they wouldn't even recognize one if they saw it, because most people don't spend their time studying it. If you can't really get something, we never really spend the time to consider it. But the people who buy Rolexes and can afford it, they nerd out about these watches. They know about the different colors, the different bracelets, the different variations, the different reference numbers. They know every nitty-gritty and the years they were made. So the people who own one, they know that if somebody recognizes their watch in public or in the right environment, the likelihood of the person who recognized their watch is somebody of high value. The likelihood they studied it and know what it is means that they can probably afford it. So you'd be surprised by what this does, because if somebody recognizes it and knows what it is, it becomes this instant conversation starter. And if you're speaking to someone of high value, this can lead to deals, partnerships, clients, and really, really valuable relationships. Most people don't recognize it, 1% do. That 1% is likely of high value. It's one of those if you know things. When it comes to marketing, we're always taught to talk about pain points, problems, and desires of our clients. But this is where this nuance comes in, because not every problem is created equal. So those are the kinds of problems you should choose when you're making content in your marketing, in all your sales system. Talk about problems that most people can't relate to or don't even recognize. Only a few high-level people do. Find high-level problems that you don't even realize exist until you've put in a certain amount of effort towards trying to get a goal. If we talk about problems that everybody can relate to, that's where we attract way too much noise, and now we have to filter out through all of this. The people that relate to the high level of problems, they lived with it for so long, they've been trying, putting in the effort, they hate living with the problem. Those are the types of people that would pay you to solve it. Because if we talk about dreams and aspirations, those are easy to imagine. Unknown problems only make sense if you've lived them. I'll show you some examples. Let's say you're a fitness coach. A problem a lot of people can relate to, if you said in your ad something like, are you having trouble losing belly fat? There's so many people that struggle with that, but not everybody is trying their hardest to be able to lose that fat. So now you're gonna attract a bunch of people that aren't really that dedicated to solving the problem. That's where you start getting those people saying, I can't afford it. A more high-level nuanced problem would be, you're putting in hours at the gym, you go 5 times a week, you're paying a bunch of money to a personal trainer, but you're still struggling to lose that belly fat. We've now inserted the effort they've put in. If someone's not putting in the effort, they're gonna be like, I haven't been spending any money on a personal coach. These things are small, but they filter out the less dedicated people. I'll use another industry as an example. Let's say you teach people how to play guitar. If you just said, are you not sounding like some of your favorite guitarists? Beginners, people who haven't tried, they can all relate. But if you made it more specific and said, you're good at playing and memorizing songs, but as soon as you jam with other musicians and they throw sheet music at you, you feel shame and embarrassment because you don't know how to read sheet music, but you don't want them to know. That's literally a problem you would only know exists if you've lived that. Here's another one. We'll talk about the money industry. Are you tired of your day job? Everybody is. What if you wanted to attract people who made more money? You could say something like, are you tired of writing the IRS a $300,000 check every year? Nobody is doing that unless they make at least $1 million. It's less about calling the person out and saying, hey, do you make $1 million? It's more about subconsciously talking about the problems only they would realize exist. Being intentional about the problems you choose to talk about is to have people who don't meet your criteria as a client disqualify themselves. The point is to make them so confused, so bored, they don't even want to watch your video, they just keep scrolling. And it only attracts the people who know. If you know, you know. This keeps you from second guessing everything that you do. Is my marketing working? Does my sales suck? Is what I have to offer not valuable? Because the more you talk to bad leads, the more that doubt and discouragement just keeps growing. We become emotional about it and we think it's something else and we'd fix something that's not broken. So you want to just sift off the top as many bad leads as you can so that they don't even have a chance to enter your ecosystem. Your marketing message is going to filter out a lot of cold leads. The next part to filtering out time wasters is making sure that your pricing aligns with your promise. Because if you try to give them too good of a deal, it's going to create doubt in their mind. Watch this video to learn how cheap prices could be scaring away your best clients. It's going to go in depth in premium buyer psychology, what triggers them, what makes them want to buy, and how you can raise your prices to get more of them.